Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Michaela Gardens. I'm going to now talk a little bit about some of the gardening design elements that I feel work for me and that I would encourage you to give a try in your own garden if you haven't already. And one of the things is massing. And an example of massing is right here. When I first started this, I probably only had 2 or 3 of these wonderful pink frothy grasses that I call pink muhly grass. And fortunately, nature was very kind, and the next spring, there were some little babyettes, and I allowed them to come into maturity. So right now, partly thanks to nature, and partly thanks to me, I have what I consider to be just a wonderful mass of this glorious cotton candy that really attracts your eye in the garden. Now, a lot of time during the year, this wonderful, sumptuous display of color isn't happening. The grass is just quiet and starting to grow. And you just have to be patient about that and know, well, boy, when October comes and there's not a whole lot else happening in certain places of the garden, I am going to have a favorite place to go because my pink muhly grass is going to be showing off and tooting its horn and saying, here I am. Now, another nice thing that happened here, a little bit from my effort, but once again, nature also contributed, is I have an impression of depth happening. Not only do I have mass, which is a lot of the one element, gardening element, but I have another one happening a little further back, and then up on a little bit of a rise, I have another one happening. Now, I've put those there myself because I wanted to have an impression of depth, because that's part of what nature does. Nature doesn't just put things in a row. Nature scatters them about, and they just kind of forever move forward in trying to claim territory, so to speak. And I'm trying to show my harmony with nature by encouraging that. Something else that's happening in this little part of the garden, which is partly a happy accident, is all those delightful golden zinnias. I planted a couple and they've reseeded, and now I have masses of that golden yellow color that I think is a real fall, rich tone and plays off nicely with kind of the soft, subtle tones of the muhly grass, and also provides depth because those little zinnias are kind of happening in groupings and clumps. And that, again, is a lot of what nature just kind of does on her own. And it's always nice to show your compatibility with nature, that you're not trying to fight it all the time. So these are examples of massing, depth, variations of color, and yet not just simply one of this and one of that. So we'll take a little break here now, and I'll move around a little bit and show you something else in the garden that might be an example of those elements.